Hi, everybody. It's getting close to Christmas, so I thought I'd read a few books for you. I'm going to try to read one every day for Christmas week. The first one is 1,000 Candy Santas. It's by Daphne Hagstrom and illustrated by Mary Lou Wise. Everything was going wrong at Santa's workshop. The elves were sick. Santa had a sore back. The red paint for the toy fire truck was all used up. There was no ribbon left for the little dolls' dresses. And on top of it all, the candy machine broke down and stamped out 1,000 candy Santas of all shapes and sizes before anyone could stop it. There's the elves that are sick. Santa's got a sore back. They're looking for ribbon and paint. Mrs. Claus was unhappy about these troubles. She was worried about everything, but especially about Santa and the elves. They will never get the presents finished in time for Christmas, she thought. I must visit the Wizard of the Seven Winds and see if he can help. And picking her way carefully over the piles of candy Santas cluttering the workshop floor, Mrs. Claus wrapped herself warmly and set out for the wizard's house. Look at all those candy Santas. There's a machine that's spitting them out. Now, the Wizard of the Seven Winds was a very special wizard indeed. It was he who had given Santa the three most magic things he owned. The magic clock that made time stand still, the magic sled that flew through the sky as if on wings, and the magic sack that never became empty until the very last gift was given to the very last child on Christmas Eve. There's the clock and the sack and the sleigh. If anyone can help us, then the wizard can, thought Mrs. Claus as she climbed the hill to the wizard's castle, where the snow swirled like a windmill and the wind whirled like a whip. But the blizzard stopped quickly when Mrs. Claus tapped on the castle knocker and the wizard himself opened the castle door. There she is getting to the castle, and there's the wizard answering the door. Abracadabra, he said when he saw who it was, and he waved his wand so that even in the middle of December, rosebud flowers bloomed upon the bushes, and the bluebirds sang among the trees. I know your wonderful magic can help us, said Mrs. Claus, smelling the flowers, and she told the wizard about all the things that had gone wrong at Santa's workshop. But the wizard only looked very unhappy when she finished. Santa has already received all the magic gifts he may have, he said. The most I can do for you now is to give you my second best wand and hope you find the magic word that will make it work. So saying, he took a crooked little stick from the folds of his coat and he placed it in Mrs. Claus's hands. Just touch this to anything you wish and say a magic word, he said. The proper word will make the magic happen, and Santa will get his help. There's the wand. I hope it works for Santa. And the wizard waved a sad goodbye to his visitor as she took one last look at the roses and started her way back down the hill. Alakazoo? Alakazee? Alakazoo? Said Mrs. Claus, thinking of all the magic words she could remember as she trudged toward the workshop in the snow. There she is leaving the wizard, and here she's going back down the hill in the cold. Alakazam, she said as she touched the wand to Santa's shoulders, hoping it would stop his backache. Ouch, said Santa. That makes me sting. So Alakazam was not the right magic word. Alakazeta, she said, as she patted the wand to an elf's rosy nose, hoping it would cure his sniffs and snorts. "Achoo!" said the elf. "That makes me sneeze." So Alakazam was not the magic word. She's trying all different words. "Karakakoo!" she called as she touched the wand to the last little piece of ribbon, hoping it would grow into yards of silk. But the ribbon remained short and shredded, and even tattered a little more at its end. "Wheedly-dee!" she cried as she touched the wand to the empty paint can, hoping it would fill with fire red paint. But the can stayed bare and empty, while little flakes of paint flew in her face. She can't find the magic word. "Help!" cried Mrs. Claus, dropping the wand on a pile of candy Santas as she stopped to rub her eyes with both of her hands. But as the wand touched the Santas, their legs began to kick, and their arms began to swing. Their heads began to wiggle, and their hands began to wave. Their red sugar coats grew warm and woolly, and their white icing beards grew fluffed and full. All of the candy Santas are coming to life. As quick as a twinkle, all the candy Santas came to life and lined up in a row on the floor. "I have found the magic word," said Mrs. Claus, and she ran from Santa to Santa to Santa, touching each of them with her magic wand and saying, "Help," until the whole workshop was filled with Santas, all of them ready and waiting to work. "Will you hitch the sled?" asked Mrs. Claus as she sent some of Santa's to help with the reindeer. "And will you pack the sack?" she asked as she sent some of the Santas off to help the elves. She's giving them all a job to do. But most of the candy Santas went off to shops and stores and street corners all around the world, where to this day they help Santa by listening to the boys and girls and learning what they wish for Christmas. As for the wizard's second best wand, that changed into a piece of red and white striped sugar, and it was the first candy cane ever made. There goes Santa. There's his candy cane. All right, I'll be back to read another story soon. Love you guys.